What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and welcome to People's Questions, episode 49, and the first video for 2013. Now, before we get into you guys' questions, which I actually got quite a lot from this time, I would first like to congratulate the winner of last Friday's contest question, Troquilcoman91, who is now a two-time winner and got the question right as for what was the quote for the movie, and sadly it ended up being Saving Private Ryan. And I have to say, Troquilcoman, you made me feel really bad because it took me an hour and a half to come up with that question, and somehow you were able to figure it out in 20 minutes. Boy, did I feel foolish. Anyway, I've already sent you your Xbox card, and I am aware of the little issue that you had. I'm glad you got it fixed, and hopefully if you get one more victory, you'll be put in the $50 contest question and have your opportunity to become a 3TR champion. And now, to start off with you guys' questions, I'm going to start off with Troquilcoman's questions. I would also like to say, you asked a question about Watch Dogs, but unfortunately I couldn't really translate it quite well, so I'm afraid if you could try to rewrite it, I'll answer it in episode 50, which should be a bigger episode. So, getting to your real first question, you wanted to know my thoughts on the rumored Justice League movie team, which at this point is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, Alfred, and Lois. I agree with everybody on that list except for Aquaman. I don't think it's any secret that any storyline that involves Aquaman, if it doesn't deal with water, then he's pretty much a useless character. And the fact that they're throwing in Darkseid in there just kind of confuses me, because with Darkseid, I'm not sure if we should stay on Earth. I think this should be more of an intergalactic setting. So Aquaman in space just doesn't seem to mix, and from what I've heard, Aquaman is supposed to play an important role, which means it's going to deal with something with Atlantis, and I just cannot see Darkseid having anything to do with Atlantis. That just does not sound like a good storyline to me. So, your next question was, am I a WWE or a UFC fan? This was actually a question I was hoping to avoid, but you asked, so I have to answer it. I'm a WWE fan. I'm not going to get into who are like my favorite wrestlers unless you ask them in another video. I never got really into UFC. It just seemed like it wasn't entertaining. I understand that it's real, but it fails on the entertainment value. Just something about seeing conflicts that have backstories, just, you want to see it play out. It's kind of like a never-ending series of comic books, in which, you have good guys, you have bad guys, you got people in the middle that are kind of grayish, and you see their storylines, and that's really what makes the match interesting. Yes, it's all planned, yes, it's scripted, but it's a story. And I've always found stories very interesting, and the fact that UFC has no stories just doesn't make it very interesting for me. So that's why I am mostly a WWE fan and not a UFC fan. Your next question was, what phone company do I prefer? And my answer is Android. I've actually been sticking with Android for about a while now. I currently have a phone with Cricket. I think I've had not a contract. I've been using Cricket for maybe 3 years now, and I've really not had any issues. And even my new tablet is run by Android, so the fact that most of my products are kind of Android, and I've been sticking with them, or that's kind of the type of technology I would stick with. I've heard a lot of good things about, Apple products, but I've never actually had a chance to try out an Apple product, so maybe one day, if I do get my hands on one and it's actually good, then maybe I'll switch over to Apple, but only time will tell for that. Your next question was, how do I feel about achievements and trophies? Are they fun or are they unnecessary? I absolutely love my trophies. If you've been keeping track of my trophy score, which I will actually be getting into a future video, the difference that I find between achievements and trophies is that achievement points are more like, it's like a scoreboard. It's like, okay, this is how many points I have, as opposed to trophies, and me being an RPG fan, it kind of feels like I'm a level something. Now in my case, I like to call myself like a trophy hunter, so at my level, I would be considered a level 24 trophy hunter. So, I don't know, that's kind of like a silly title, but me being, as I said before, me being an RPG fan, it kind of, every trophy is like experience points. Like, every trophy is like taking on a challenge. And so the more the challenges, the higher I level up, the cooler I feel. So I absolutely love trophies. I absolutely hope that they are on the next generation of consoles, and maybe they'll carry over. That would be really great. And finally, your last question was, do I prefer just regular Easter eggs in games instead? I don't mind Easter eggs. It's just I would prefer them if they actually added something to the story or hinted at something that was going to happen in the next installment of the game. Most Easter eggs are kind of throwbacks or mentions to other games, and they're just sort of there, and you usually have to put in like a lot of extra work just to find it, and usually the time that you spend trying to find this Easter egg is generally never worth the actual payoff. So, you know, as long as the Easter egg adds something to the story, then I believe it would be a cool addition to any game. Next set of questions comes from a great guy by the name of Criticism Guy 2009. And your first question was, what do I think about the new Dragon Ball Z movie, Battle of the Gods, coming out next year? I'm absolutely pumped up for Dragon Ball Z. After the absolutely just, oh god, Dragon Ball Evolution, just how terrible that movie was, I wanted to go back to what made Dragon Ball Z awesome. I've actually heard a lot of really good things. I've seen the villain, and he's kind of more, seems like he's going to be related towards the Egyptian type setting, which I think is an interesting look. From what I know, it's going to take place after the Buu saga. Now I recently saw a picture, I'm not sure if it was real or not for this movie, but I saw a picture of a Super Saiyan 3 level Vegeta, and that would be a dream come true. I've always wanted Vegeta to go to Super Saiyan 3, because he can hit 1, 2, although some people don't really consider it fair, he did hit 4, so making him be able to go to 3 naturally would just make me just get turned to a little kid again watching it on like a cartoon on Toonami back when it was still playing. So I'm sorry, I still got a cough. I'm absolutely pumped up for it. I just hope that it doesn't end up with Goku saving the day. I'm really tired of them making Goku seem like he's the only one who can destroy villains, because in my personal opinion, I think Vegeta's death and how they handled it in the Buu saga was probably the greatest injustice that I can think of in the Dragon Ball Z timeline. And your last question was kind of related to Jack Reacher, and you just wanted to know my thoughts on Tom Cruise's performance with Jack Reacher, if it was good or bad. I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was all that great. It was kind of like Tom Cruise just wanting to do a movie just to do a movie, and I didn't really feel like he really put, you know, his heart into it. I mean, I didn't really see him put as much effort into Jack Reacher as he would, say, like in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which he put in a lot of energy. And Tom Cruise really is one of those actors that likes to do his own stunts, so it definitely demands respect, but I just felt for this one, it was just a bit lackluster and kind of a waste of his particular skill level as an actor and someone who likes to do his own stunts most of the time. The next question comes from Timothy Dickard 41. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I butchered it. And I actually would like to let you know that I'm actually going to do a separate video on that, because that is a very sensitive topic, and I don't think I would have enough time to discuss it in this particular video. So I am going to release a video discussing why I did not do an Avengers review in 2012, and it will be up tomorrow for sure, and it's very detailed, so please sure to watch for that tomorrow. And the last question, which I was actually speaking to a friend of mine about this, comes from Zaniac, and he wanted to know, what is my favorite wild animal? And to this day, it remains now and always is a jaguar, simply for the fact that in high school I was considered a Desert Pines jaguar, and I know that may seem a little cynical, but you know, I spent a lot of time actually looking at these jaguars, and I actually got to see one up close once, and I thought they were pretty intimidating creatures. I mean, they weren't like a tiger as like a hunter, and they definitely didn't have the fierceness as a lion, but they just had that sleek look of being able to hold their own and still be able to pull off very quick attack or takedowns. And that's something I've really admired about the jaguar, especially the black ones. Those ones are very cool just to look at. And with that, that is all the questions that I got this week from all of you guys out there. Again, I'd like to thank all of you out there for sending your questions. They are amazing and they do help me out. Now to get on to this week's contest question. Now this one is actually going to be a bit of an upgrade from my standard usual set of questions, because I'm going to give everyone out there a taste of what it feels like to be in the finals. So this question really doesn't have an exact answer. I mean, it does, but the winner of this contest question is simply who can get the closest to the actual total number. And all I want you guys to do is try to guess what is the total amount that I spent towards video games in 2012. Now in the description is a list of every game that I purchased in 2012, and simply give me a money number. And I promise you, it is not a prime number or a solid number. It is a mixed number with change. If you think you know the answer, please comment it down below. And after about 5 days, right before the day that the contest is going to end, I will be filming the next episode. Whoever is the closest will be announced the winner, and if you win, you will have your choice of an Xbox or PlayStation Network card. And again, if you guys have any questions that you would like answered in future episodes, please comment them down below. And if you like this video, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to keep track of me and my future movie and game reviews. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome. I will see you next time.